Hey guys, what's up? Max here, and I'm here with another MTG crash course for you guys today. And today we're talking all about the card frames. Now, let's take a look at these three cards from Limited Edition Alpha: Birds of Paradise, Wrath of God, and Howling Mine. Now, let's take a look at them as they've changed through the borders up until their most recent versions. And that brings us to now. So, as you can see, the border changed right around 8th edition. Now, initially there were a bunch of criticisms about the 8th edition border change. One of these criticisms was, for example, with Auric Transfixer and Bone Splitter, where the white cards and artifact cards looked very similar in color and was hard to tell what color they actually were. So, what did they do? Well, here's the Mirrored and Bone Splitter, and in 5th Dawn, they made the artifacts dark to try to make them less similar to the white cards in the previous set. But as you can see in Staff of Domination here, the activated abilities like the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all really dark and you can't see them. Well, they changed that again in Ravnica. As you can see here on Bloodletter Quill, the activated ability of 2-tap is a lot lighter than the 2-tap in Staff of Domination. Now, there's been a bunch of special borders released in Magic's history, so let's take a look at those. The first ones occur in the Time Spiral block as the time-shifted cards, which are the same as the old borders, except they have a purple hourglass to represent the time-shifted cards. Next up was the Planar Chaos border, which was designed in order to help show the contrast between current Magic and what Magic could have done. The third set in the Time Spiral block was Future Sight, in which they released this border, kind of showing a futuristic of what Magic could be in the future and what Magic has done in the past. New borders were the split cards. Now, as you can see here on Fire and Ice, the art is very small and the text box is really big. So when they included split cards in a new frame, they designed them to have a larger art and smaller text. Another type of border were the Kamigawa flip cards. Now, these cards flipped and did stuff. Yeah, these cards weren't well received by the audience, but they're a good attempt and a good border. Another special border that a lot of people don't realize is Planeswalker cards. Now, something special about their border is that their text box is actually part transparent, so you can see the rest of the art underneath the text. A lot of people don't notice that. And they've also changed the Planeswalker border a couple times. For example, Jace the Mind Sculptor has 4 abilities, making it the smallest art on a Magic card that's not unhinged. And Garruk Relentless is a flip Planeswalker. That's a new border. Well, let's talk more about the flip cards. Now, the flip cards border is definitely a lot different. In the top left-hand corner, you have the day symbol, and in the bottom right, you have the little indent that says the power and toughness on the other side. And the back, on the top left, you have the knight symbol, and then in the middle, you have this little dot thing. That thing. That's called the color indicator. Now, since the back of the flip cards don't have a mana cost, it's hard to determine what color they are. Well, the color indicator was introduced in order to help people determine what color things without mana costs are. For example, the Future Sight Slaughter Pact said that Slaughter Pact is black and destroy target non-black creature. Well, with the new color indicator, it can just say destroy target non-black creature, and it has the black color indicator next to instant. Another type of border were the level up cards from Rise of the Eldrazi. Now, these borders weren't well received by the audience, but I personally like them and think they're one of the funnest abilities in Magic. Another type of border were the Miracle cards, which for some reason they thought that people needed to remember the Miracle cards, I guess, so they made a special border. And it's interesting. The top has a little indent at the top, and then it has little lines. It's not much special. Another type is the Bestowed by the Gods. Yes, that's their official name, the Bestowed by the Gods borders. Now, these cards are sparkly to represent Nyx, which is the link between the cards that they make and the gods. So Thassa's Emissary is created, bestowed by Thassa, and that's why it has the bestowed border, and Bow of Nylea has been bestowed by Nylea, so it has the green Nyx border. Full art lands is actually another type of special borders. These have been done in Unglued, Unhinged, and Zendikar, and are actually really cool, and I love playing with them. Promotional cards is another type of special border. There's actually been two types of promotional cards with special borders. The first one is the Magic Player Rewards cards, rest in peace Magic Player Rewards, and the second one are the Game Day promo cards that have been coming out recently. And how about the M15 border change? Yeah, about that. There's four major things with the M14 border change. The first is the font on the cards. The new font that they're using is called Bellerin, which is designed in order to help give Magic a unique personality. Now, one of the reasons that people don't like these is because the letters go down to different levels on the card. Another thing in the M15 border change is the hollow foil stamp. Now, this is going to be on all rares and mythics to help determine what is real and what is not, because if you fake Magic cards, you're going to fake the ones in Standard, not the old Black Lotus Power 9 ones, right? Hey. The third change they made was the collector's info is all going to be in the bottom left. Now, instead of just having the artist and the collector's number, there's actually 6 things that they're checking. They're checking the collector number, the rarity, the expansion, the language, the artist credit, and the copyright. Now, what is this supposed to do? Well, you know how they've been slipping cards into future booster packs for a while now? Well, this is supposed to stop it because the computers can catch the mistakes. If only you can pre-register sealed pools like this. The fourth major change is the black bottom. At first I was like, well, why isn't it just a red bottom because it's a red card? But after looking further, it looks fine. Well, let's take a look at Wall of Fire through all of the border changes now. As you can see it going through Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, it looks pretty much the same. But, of course, the border will change. And, like everyone always says, this is going to ruin Magic. There's been tons of things that are going to ruin Magic, but they never have. All the way from the only can have 4 in a deck rule, to having a ban list, to Chronicles, to having a reserved list, to pitch cards you can cast for free, to foil cards in booster packs, to Magic Online, to the 8th edition border change, to reminder text on evergreen abilities, to planeswalkers, to mythic rares, to putting lands in booster packs and taking out a common. The M10 rules change was going to ruin Magic, as were the double-faced cards, and the M14 slivers, and the M15 border change. Now, as we well know, this will not ruin Magic. Magic is here for good, but so is our new M15 border. If you have any questions or comments on today's video, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But if you don't, thank you guys very much for watching Max Plays MTG's MTG Crash Course, all about card frames.